one man who did not make the All-Star team, which I think is pretty egregious, and there's no bias in what I'm about to say. Pacheco himself, Juan Soto, did not make the All-Star game. You want to look at Soto's numbers. Soto batting 263, 21 home runs, 51 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, OPS of 904. Now, I believe Soto should have been in the All-Star game, not as a starter, even though one could argue that he should have got in over the Cubs' Kyle Tucker. But Soto, I feel he was snubbed. Could it have been the slow start? I don't think the slow start could account for it because look at his numbers up until now. He caught up. A lot of people, I remember when Soto was hitting in the 230s, in the 220s, and people were like, oh, he's having a down year. You Yankee fans led by your Michael K propaganda. Oh, he wasn't worth the money. He's not happy. He wishes he was still a Yankee. And he misses batting in front of Judge and blah, 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 blah. And look at it now, 263 average. Like I've always said, 250 is the new 300 in today's baseball. But Pacheco, 263, 21 homers, 51 RBI. The man was the NL Player of the Month for June, for crying out loud, and he doesn't get in. I really feel that this is a snub because, again, yes, he started off the season slow, but he's caught up. He is caught up. Now, you want to look at somebody who was named All-Star starter. Let's look at the Cubs' Kyle Tucker. Similar numbers, folks, between Kyle Tucker and Juan Soto. Tucker batting 284 as of today. Soto 263. Tucker's had about 23 more at bats. Tucker's got 17 home runs to Soto's 21. So Soto has him beat there. 55 RBI for Tucker, 51 for Soto. So he's got Soto beat in the RBI department. 22 stolen bases to Soto's 10. And Soto has him beaten OPS 904 to 902. But we failed to mention Juan Soto, the league leader in walks. Now, again, the numbers don't tell the whole story. You got to do a deep dive. You cannot drive runs in or hit home runs if you're being walked. And even being the league leader in walks, Soto has 4 more home runs and 4 less RBI than Kyle Tucker. So imagine if he wasn't drawing walks, how he would have beaten Tucker in every category. Still beating him in homers and OPS. And remember, folks, if you draw a walk, your batting average stays the same. So if Soto, a lot of teams like to pitch around Soto. If they didn't pitch around him, his batting average might have beat Kyle Tucker. The RBIs definitely would have beat Kyle Tucker because his home runs are beating Kyle Tucker. So I think Juan Soto definitely an all-star snub. No disrespect to Kyle Tucker from the Chicago Cubs, but if Tucker could get voted a starter with those numbers, there's no reason why Juan Soto at least can't be a reserve in this game. And again, the reserves were voted on by players around the league. So there's some hate. Maybe there's some guys, I don't want to vote him in because look at that contract. Why don't I have that contract? Might be jealousy. Might be guys who have not been paying attention to what's going on outside of their own clubhouses and on their own team in their own games. But for what it's worth, I believe Juan Soto has been snubbed. You want to look at the rest of the outfield reserves? Let's look at Fernando Tatis, who came up a shortstop and is now magically an outfielder. Now look at this, folks. Fernando Tatis Jr., outfield reserve for the National League. Batting 259 going into today. Soto's batting 263. Soto's got him beat. 15 home runs to Soto's 21. Tatis, 40 RBIs to Soto's 51. His OPS is .796. Soto's OPS is .904. 19 stolen bases for Tatis compared to 10 for Soto. Outside of stolen bases, Pacheco has El Nino beat in every category. This is a rig, folks. This is rigged. Juan Soto should definitely be an all-star. I don't understand how a guy, and look at the at-bats. Soto, 319 at-bats. Tatis, 336. And again, Soto's the league leader in walks. Does that not count for anything? How Soto is not an all-star is beyond me, and he's got better numbers than Fernando Tatis, who's going to the game. I don't get it. So some people could say, yeah, Kyle Tucker barely squeezed by. Okay. You can make an argument for that, but to put Tatis with those numbers over Juan Soto, it doesn't make sense. You want to look at the other reserves? The Miami Marlins, Kyle Stowers was selected for the All-Star game. He's got Pacheco beat 279 average to Soto's 263, 16 home runs to Soto's 21, 46 RBI to Soto's 51. Stowers, OPS .861, Soto .904, and of course, Soto is the league leader in walks. But yet Soto doesn't have a spot in this game. That's two reserves that Soto has better numbers than. We want to look at another reserve. James Wood from the Washington Nationals, a team that has nothing to play for. They haven't had anything to play for since spring training ended. James Wood, 288 average. He's got Soto beat. Soto's 263. He's actually beating Soto in home runs 23 to 21. RBIs, he's got him beat 67 to 51. OPS 940 over Soto's OPS 904. I can't say a bad thing about James Wood. He's got the man beat in every category. That I can't argue. But Soto should have definitely gone in over Stowers. Definitely should have gone in over Tatis. And I hate the rule that every team needs at least one representative in the All-Star game because, to tell you the truth, there's no reason why the Rockies or the White Sox or the Marlins should have anybody in the All-Star game. Those teams are not good. Somebody's going to have decent numbers on a team. But let's go to the last outfield reserve. Corbin Carroll from the Arizona Diamondbacks, hitting 250. Soto's got him beat hitting 263. 20 home runs for Carroll, 21 for Soto, 45 RBI for Carroll, 51 for Soto. They have the same amount of stolen bases at 10. Carroll's OPS .895, Soto at 904. And again, so let's take a look, folks. Granted, you want to say Kyle Tucker deserved to be the starter, whatever. But there are 1, 2, 3 all-star reserves in the outfield that I, quite frankly, don't think should have been selected over Juan Soto because Juan Soto has better numbers than the three of them. I don't know how Soto didn't get a look because Corbin Carroll had a slow start to this season too. If you want to go and pull the game logs and pull the footage and look at Arizona's first 30 to 40 games of the season, Carroll had a slow start. So again, Juan Soto was snubbed. I don't think this situation happens next year. Should Soto continue to have a first half output like that, but I'm very peeved that Soto did not make an all-star roster. It's just preposterous to me how you could have 3 reserves and a starter who borderline has similar numbers to Soto, and they get in, and Soto doesn't, and Soto's beaten 3 of them statistically in every offensive category and leads the league in walks, which is why if he didn't have those walks, who knows? He probably have more homers and RBIs and a higher batting average, but I guess that's just how it goes in baseball. Baseball is a sport where you have a lot of wrongs that need to be righted, and this is one of them.